Okay, we're live now.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Everson. Commissioners, staff, welcome to today's meeting. We will call this Caddo Parish Commission regular meeting virtual agenda to order. It is November the 5th at 3:31 p.m. Mr. Everson, roll call, please.
Commissioner Hopkins.
Present.
Commissioner Johnson. Commissioner Jackson. Commissioner Young.
Present.
Commissioner Burrell. Commissioner Cawthorn.
Present.
Commissioner Gage Watts. Commissioner Talaferro.
Here, sir.
Commissioner Atkin.
Here.
Commissioner Chavez.
Here, sir.
Commissioner Lazarus.
Here.
And Commissioner Epperson.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. I'm showing 8 present and 4 absent, though I do see that as I was calling roll, it looks like Commissioner Burrell.
Yeah. Hello.
Hey, Commissioner Burrell, welcome aboard.
So
All right.
that would make 9 present and 3 absent. That is a quorum.
Thank you, Mr. Everson. Commissioners, we're going to have our invocation led by Commissioner Epperson, followed by our Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Talaferro, which both have to be veterans.
Let us pray. Father in heaven, we offer a special prayer for our veterans. Proud of our nation, they answered her call, defending the freedom and safety of all. On land or on sea or in jets high above, they went out of duty and honor and love. But however they served, oh God, wherever they went, please bless them and help them to know what it meant. And help us to thank them on Veterans Day, for we owe them far more than we ever could say. And Father, as I close, not being selfish, but a universal testament, just as you took care of me in my military department, Commissioner Chavez during his military department, we ask a special blessing upon Specialist Tanner Chavez and Sergeant Stephen Epperson during their department. These and other blessings we ask in your son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Let us stand and pay tribute to the most exceptional country on earth. Veterans may render their hand salute. All others, place your hand over your heart and repeat. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioners. Thank you, especially Commissioner Epperson, for that heartfelt prayer. I do have a agenda addition on the agenda. I know it's been brought to us by Attorney Frazier. We're going to have to expand the agenda and allow us to vote on expanding the agenda and adding the addition. I'll make the motion to do it. Attorney Frazier, do you want to speak on this to advise the public what this agenda addition is that you would like to make?
Sure, Commissioner. It is to have the commission vote on a course of action with regard to the lawsuit that we currently have filed regarding Act 302.
Got it. And I heard that second, was that from you, Commissioner Watts?
Burrell.
From Commissioner Burrell? Got you. All right. What we'll do now, Mr. Everson, is we'll allow the public to call in and voice either their agreement to expand the agenda to add this or their disagreement. The number I see you posted already was 318-226-6596. Thank you for doing that.
And if I could clarify, Commissioner Chavez, I want to make sure that the viewers out there understand that this is to call in about the expansion of the agenda. We do have a caller on the line already holding for our regular public comments, but we still have lines open in case somebody wants to call in for this expansion of the agenda.
Thank you for that clarification. Yeah, the citizen comments, that's going to come right after this vote. And after any public hearings, either for or against the expansion and the agenda addition. We'll give a couple more moments. All right, I see no phone calls coming in. Mr. Everson, I declare this opportunity closed for any public comments either for or against the expansion of the agenda. We will now vote on expanding the agenda to add the agenda addition.
Okay, Commissioner Hopkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson, Commissioner Jackson, Commissioner Young,
Yes.
Commissioner Burrell,
Yes.
Commissioner Cawthorn,
Yes.
Commissioner Gage Watts,
Yes.
Commissioner Talaferro,
Yes.
Commissioner Atkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Chavez,
Yes.
Commissioner Lazarus,
Yes.
Commissioner Epperson.
Yes.
All right, that's 10 in support and 2 absent, so that does carry. So we will add that on under new business.
Thank you, Mr.
that-
Everson.
And that brings us to citizens' comments. If you'd like, I'll go ahead and give that number again, and we do have a caller holding on the line.
Absolutely. We'll give the number and then we'll let them talk.
Great, that phone number is 318-226-6596. And I believe the assistant clerk has got a caller on the line now. Michelle, do you want to go ahead and connect him?
Mr. Michaels?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can go ahead with your comment, state your name for the record, and you have 3 minutes.
Okay, my name is Jack Michaels. I have been trying to get some help at the abuse of patients at LSU Hospital. Recently on September 25th, 2020, there was a missing woman found dead in LSU Hospital. And the article on the news station said nothing about the numerous complaints about University police officer Gabe torturing elderly women and abusing patients. I've already got testimonies from multiple people. I've told the mayor since he began working. He blocked me on City of Shreveport. They use the government pages to block citizens who have any complaints, and that's illegal. Okay, this is like the fifth time I've said this just here at Caddo Parish. My right to being infringed. I don't like it. It's like slavery. I want my ability to speak. I want citizens to have the ability to process grievances with the government, to petition the government for redressal grievances. Crystal Jackson is on record, the administrative assistant for Republicans, threatening people with arrests for calling and trying to get help for women torture at LSU by the University police officers. Gabe, 250 pounds, black male, 6'2". Okay, Officer Keats. You can look him up. Okay, this isn't like some kind of game. All right, if you don't report this to a law enforcement officer, like other than what we have here, because I already know. Okay, then just consider yourself complicit. I don't have any other way to communicate. Okay, like the email addresses for all the Shreveport.gov government. I tried reaching out to all of them, over 30. No response. All this is documented. Okay, somebody needs to do something about the women torture at LSU Hospital. All right, you can look on Google reviews and no, they torture patients. Okay, you can ask people. I can give you evidence. All right, there's no other way to communicate this because our health systems blocks victims of police brutality torture that by the security police up there. Okay, they do it in the emergency room. All right, just I got to have some type of communication line or somebody can get on this live broadcast and address my issue. Okay? Because you're all complicit if you don't do anything or help anyone. All right? I've been going on for months and months and months. All right? Trying to get help from y'all. Sometimes y'all don't let me talk. All right? And that's illegal. Okay? If you're like Parish Caddo, all right? That's illegal to not let citizens talk. All right? This is a real issue. Her name, okay, the woman who was found dead at LSU Hospital after missing for 3 days, okay? At LSU Hospital where they torture women or there's been complaints to men hurting for over a year, all right?
Mr. Michaels?
It was done at September 23rd.
Mr. Michaels.
Mr. Michaels, I believe you've reached your time limit.
Mr. Michaels, your time has expired. Have a great day.
Mr. Everson, I know we're not allowed to talk to the during public comments. It sounded like his issues were with the city of Shreveport or maybe with Oshner, and then an additional he wanted to report a crime. Has he been instructed to maybe call the police or call the city of Shreveport?
He has. We've reached out to Mr. Michaels a number of times with ways that he might be able to address his concerns. But yeah, you're correct. His concerns seem to be primarily with other entities, not Caddo Parish. But
I understand. Do we have any more citizens on the line to speak?
we don't. But at this time, if the guests from Shreveport Memorial Library wanted to say something, this could be an appropriate time.
Yeah, Mr. Toggle, welcome. I didn't know if you wanted to talk. I know you're on the agenda today.
I just wanted to thank the commissioners for holding our open public meeting for our budget today. It's rather unusual circumstances, but I do appreciate everything you do, and we appreciate all the support that the commissioners give the Shreve Memorial Library. And I'll stop there.
Thanks, Mr. Tuggle. It's been I know it's been a trying year, but you've done really well at the library and helping accommodate everybody that wanted to still check out books or do virtual rentals. You guys have done a lot down there, so thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Everson, I don't have any digital citizen comments to read off. Do you?
We've had another phone caller.
Sure. Please allow them to speak.
Great. 1 second.
Mr. Mayberry? Mr. Mayberry?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead and state your name for the record, and you have 3 minutes.
Okay, my name's Robbie Mayberry. I own the property at 12398 Mansfield Road. I'm just calling in to check to see if the zoning is going to go through like we need.
Does that conclude your comment?
As of this time, have they had a vote on it yet, or they're about to have one?
They've not voted on that item.
Does that happen today?
Mr. Everson, I don't believe we're voting on anything for zoning on Mansfield Road.
I don't believe so either. Maybe if you would like, you could stay on the line and we'll have one of our staff members answer your questions more specifically, sir.
And Mr. Everson, if you'll grab his email address, that if it is Mansfield Road, that's in District 10. We do have something we're voting on, but it's on a whole different side of District 10. I'll email him after the meeting.
We'll get some contact information for him.
Thank you, Mr. Everson.
Mr. Chairman, I think Commissioner Lazarus has a point.
I do. It's in my district. Yes.
It's way down Mansfield.
Yeah.
He's talking about.
Yeah.
You want to address that? Is that something that we're going to vote on?
It's on the agenda. It's on the agenda for today.
Okay. Then Mr. Everson, Commissioner Lazarus says yes, that is on the agenda today.
Is it just for introduction for public hearing?
No.
No, it's a public hearing and it can have a vote of action today.
Okay.
That's correct.
So, but I believe he has some more technical questions in nature, and one of the other staff members in the office here is answering some of his other questions. So, do you want me to get him back on the line and see if he has any additional comments?
Would you actually give him Commissioner Lazarus's email address and see if he can shoot those questions over to Commissioner Lazarus? Hopefully he can intercept them before we vote in case he wanted to get any information on that.
We'll do that. And let's see. So that is the only comment that we have remaining. Would you like to move on?
Commissioner Lazarus, is that okay with you on that communication?
It's fine. He's just asking if we're going to vote on it today, and we are, and I'm not opposed to it, so it's all good.
Got it. Okay. Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Mr. Everson. We'll move along.
Great. Okay. The next item on the agenda is visitors, and then we have adopt regular session minutes and special resolutions due to teleconferencing requirements. We don't have any items under those items today. And that brings us to communiques and committee reports, our first of two. This includes administration response to information requests from commissioners. And at this time, I'd also draw your attention to the certificate of teleconference, which doesn't require any action, but it is attached.
Thank you, Mr. Everson. We'll lead off our communiques with Commissioner Epperson.
You're muted, Ken.
Once again, giving thanks to all of our healthcare and medical personnel workers on the front line of the COVID-19 fight. We thank them for their service, and we ask that God would keep them and their families safe. Also, my condolences go to all of those who have lost loved ones due to the COVID-19 pandemic, as well as those that are recovering in the hospitals and clinics, and we wish them a speedy recovery for their treatment for COVID-19. The totals in the United States of America today is 9,580,000. That's up 108,000 cases from yesterday. The deaths are 234,000. That's up 1,615 from yesterday. Louisiana is ranked number 18th out of the nation in COVID cases, 190,000, up 1,016 cases from yesterday. 5,975 deaths, up 24 from yesterday. Caddo Parish is ranked 4th out of the state of Louisiana, 10,528 cases, up 59 from yesterday, 402 deaths, no deaths from yesterday. Also would like to bring everyone's attention to Veterans Day that's heading up. We have signed our joint proclamation with Caddo, Bossier, Shreveport, Bossier Parish, and DeSoto Parish. We asking for the dates between November 5th through the 11th be observed as Veteran Celebration Week in those particular cities and municipalities. Also, our annual parade and honor ceremony will not be held this year. Instead, we would ask that all citizens would Google the Northwest Louisiana Veterans Home, send congratulation cards, thank you cards to all of our veterans that are residents of the Northwest Louisiana Veterans Home to sort of help them out. We have the banners up for Veterans Celebration Week throughout downtown in DeSoto Parish and Mansfield, at the Benton Courthouse, and also Bossier City Hall. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Epperson. Commissioners, we're still under communiques. I show no one else with their hand up. If nobody else wants to speak, yes, sir, Commissioner.
Okay, let me get back on. Yeah, Mr. Chairman, it's me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, all right. I just wanted to say that I appreciate y'all sitting in my stead. I wasn't able to make it on Monday. I was out of town on Monday, only to come back today to make sure that I was at my Zoom meeting, although I could have done it where I was, to find out that you all have another COVID case in City Hall, and just happened to be in my wife's department, and come back to find her in quarantine. So I want you to know that the threat is still real, although she doesn't have it. But you still have to take those precautions. So we are still dealing with this issue, and we're dealing with it, as I understand it, again in the commission building, or should I say the city council building, city building. So just wanted to bring that to your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Braille, and hopefully she stays okay. And I know the public hears us, and they think we all work for the same entity. So I know when you say that she works at Government Plaza, she does not work for the Caddo Parish Commission, before we receive any phone calls for that one.
No, sir. It's the city of Shreveport.
That's all I have of Mr. Everson for communiques. We can move along.
All right. Do you have a president's report today?
Yeah, I know veteran Commissioner Epperson, as well as Dr. Wilson and Commissioner Taliaferro. Thank you for being on with us. Thank you for your service. I think it's really cool that my son and Commissioner Epperson's son are both simultaneously serving the country right now. the average amount of veterans right now in America is 17.4, which is about 7% of the population. So it's not a lot. I know we celebrate this every year, but I think a great poem that was written by Charles M. Providence, it was well to read it. It is the soldier, not the minister, who has given us freedom of religion. It is the soldier, not the reporter, who has given us freedom of the press. It is the soldier, not the poet, who has given us freedom of speech. It is the soldier, not the campus organizer, who has given us freedom to protest. It is the soldier, not the lawyer, who has given us the right to a fair trial. It is the soldier, not the politician, who has given us the right to vote. It is the soldier who salutes the flag, who serves beneath the flag, and whose coffin is draped by the flag, who allows the protester to burn the flag. So today, my heart's out to all the veterans, and thank you for all they do, and thank you for the other commissioners that are on the call, and Dr. Wilson, for your service to our country. Mr. Everson, that concludes my report.
Yeah. Commissioner Chavez?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to make one comment, sir.
Absolutely.
Yes. Good afternoon, commissioners. I'd like to extend my heartfelt appreciation for everyone who helped work to get the millages passed. We were successful in getting 3 of our millages passed. So we want to thank you all and thank the community and the citizens of the parish of Caddo for reinvesting in the upkeep of their community and their property. And also the staff did a yeoman's job in doing what we could do to get the message out under the pandemic situation. We were very limited. Typically, we went out in the past to talk to community groups and church organizations, but we couldn't do that this time. So we rely solely on social media, but we certainly appreciate the willingness of the community to renew the operating millages. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Wilson. You're right. They did a great job. Commissioner Taliaferro, you have the floor.
Yeah, I just want to thank you, Mr. President. I just want to piggyback on that. Thank you, Dr. Wilson. And I tell you what, our public information office, Crystal, and all those who involved in putting that piece together for us to share made it very, very easy, very convincing, very explanatory. It was a good piece, and it did go a long way in helping us to share that with our constituents via social media and in any other way that we chose to share it. So I do appreciate the effort, because it does take a long time to put that stuff together, I know.
Yes,
so
sir.
Thank you so much for allowing, thank you so much for making our job a little bit easier, in sharing the good news. Thank you.
And thank you for the comments, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Commissioner Taliaferro. Commissioner, I see you, Commissioner Epperson. I'm going to give, no, we're going to go in order. Commissioner Epperson, go ahead.
Yes, I would like to thank the Caddo Parish Clerk of Court's office, all of the poll workers at the precincts in Caddo Parish, the Registrar of Voters office for a smooth election process. To my knowledge, I got about 2 calls, but they were rectified, and they did a yeoman's job. And we thank all the citizens of Caddo Parish for coming out and being cooperative. And especially once again, our clerk of courts, all the staffs at the polling precincts, and all the personnel at the Registrar of Voters office. That's all.
Thank you, Commissioner Epperson. Commissioner Burrell.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would be remiss, although I had a opportunity earlier to thank the veterans too. As I think about my brother who served, I was going to serve, once I graduated from ULM, but the Vietnam War came to an end at that time. I don't know if that was a saving grace. There was no jobs then, so I was going to go into service anyway. But again, and my nephew, who was Marine, who just left the Marines, I guess, about a year ago. So again, I do want to appreciate all the veterans on this Veterans Day, and also the citizens for their patience because of the early voting situation. I know we got some complaints, but as was said before, they were patient, they were orderly, and we got through this. So again, I want to throw that out, as an opportunity to thank the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Burrell. Mr. Everson, that concludes our communiques.
Okay, that brings us to our public hearing on zoning ordinances and cases. We have, let's see, I believe 3 that are to be heard under public hearing today. Start with ordinance number 6011 of 2020 in relation to zoning case 20-6-P. Did you want to?
Let's declare them open, and would you read all of them? And then
Sure.
we'll allow anyone to call in on any of them. So I declare this opportunity open on public comments for either of the 3 that Mr. Everson's going to read.
And for those who may want to comment, I'll just give that number one more time. That's 226-6596 for anyone who may want to speak for or against these ordinances. Ordinance number 6011 of 2020 is in relation to zoning case 20-6-P, an ordinance to amend volume 2 of the Code of Ordinances of the Parish of Caddo as amended, the Caddo Parish Unified Development Code by amending the zoning of property located on the southeast side of Flournoy Lucas Road, approximately 530 feet northeast of First Street, Caddo Parish, Louisiana, from R17 Single Family Residential District to C1 Neighborhood Commercial District, and to otherwise provide with respect thereto. The next item is ordinance number 6012 of 2020 in relation to zoning case 20-8-P. It's an ordinance to amend volume 2 of the Code of Ordinances of the Parish of Caddo as amended, the Caddo Parish Unified Development Code by amending the zoning of property located on the southwest corner of Mansfield Road and Keithville Kingston Road in Caddo Parish, Louisiana, from RA Rural Agriculture District to C3 General Commercial District, and to otherwise provide with respect thereto. The final item in this hearing is ordinance number 6013 of 2020 in relation to zoning case 20-10-P, an ordinance to amend volume 2 of the Code of Ordinances of the Parish of Caddo as amended, the Caddo Parish Unified Development Code, by amending the zoning of property located on the northeast corner of Flournoy Lucas Road and Uri Drive, Caddo Parish, Louisiana, from RA Rural Agriculture District to IMU Industrial Mixed Use District, and to otherwise provide with respect thereto.
Thank you, Mr. Everson. As stated previously, it's now open. If you'd like to speak on the public hearing, either for or against, we'll give you the opportunity to call in. That number is 318-226-6596. Mr. Everson, I don't hear the phone ringing, do you?
The only reason I hesitate is we do have a caller on the line that called as I was reading, and I've not heard yet what they were calling about.
All right.
If we could give it just another minute. Thank you. Okay, no, it looks like the caller was not for the public.
Okay. All right, I declare this opportunity on public hearings closed for ordinances. We'll move on to zoning.
Okay, those were the zoning ordinances. So we'll move on to the public hearing on ordinances, which is, did you want to go ahead and declare this public hearing open, and I'll read the ordinances out?
Yes, sir. I'll declare this public hearing on ordinance now open. If you'd like to call in and speak either for or against the following ordinance that Mr. Everson will read, please call in.
Okay, and that number again is 226-6596. And those items that are up for public hearing are public hearing on ordinance number 6010 of 2020, an ordinance adopting the budget of estimated revenues and expenditures for the Shreve Memorial Library for the year 2021. And ordinance 6014 of 2020, an ordinance amending the budget of estimated revenues and expenditures for the capital outlay and the oil and gas fund in the amount of $750,000 to provide an appropriation for the construction and improvement of Greenwood water lines, and to otherwise provide with respect thereto.
Anybody calling in?
It doesn't look like we have any callers at the moment. Again, that number, if anybody is for or against these items, is 226-6596. It doesn't look as though we have any callers.
Thank you, Mr. Everson. I declare this opportunity to call in on public hearing on ordinances closed. Mr. Everson will move along.
Oh, I'm sorry. Before you close that, I did notice that we do have representatives both from Greenwood and the Shreve Memorial Library on the line. They're actually on the Zoom call. If you wanted to allow them an opportunity to speak.
Sure. Hey, Veronica, how are you?
Doing good, Mario. Commissioner Chavez.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. Did you or Mayor want to speak on the budget estimated revenue expenditure capital outlay to increase to 750 for the Greenwood water lines? Do you guys want to comment on that?
No, sir, not at this time. I think we're good unless anyone has any questions.
No, it looks like we're good. Well, thank you guys for coming to our meeting. Mr. Tuggle, did you want to speak about the library?
Again, I just want to thank the commission for doing our public hearing, and it really has been a pleasure working with you guys this year. It's been a fun year. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. Mr. Everson,
Okay.
we'll close the hearing and move on. Thank you.
Great. That brings us to zoning ordinances for final passage. The first one is ordinance number 6011 of 2020. It's in relation to zoning case 20-6-P that we had a public hearing on earlier. It's an ordinance to amend volume 2 of the Code of Ordinances of the Parish of Caddo as amended, the Caddo Parish Unified Development Code, by amending the zoning of property located on the southeast side of Florno Lucas Road, approximately 530 feet northeast of First Street in Caddo Parish, Louisiana, from R17 Single Family Residential District to C1 Neighborhood Commercial District, and to otherwise provide with respect thereto.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
All right. Commissioners, we spoke about this one already. It was a home on the forward-facing thoroughfare of Florno Lucas that faces the new Kroger shopping center. They're going to change the house to allow basically a small hair salon. MPC staff recommended the approval of this if we can get a favorable passage. I have Commissioner Vice President Johnson.
Yes, I'd like to englobo and adopt ordinance number 6011, 6012, 6013.
Second.
All right. Got a motion by Vice President Johnson, second by Commissioner Cawthorn. Commissioner Johnson, would you like to speak on that?
No, sir.
All right. Commissioner Taliaferro, I have you on the board.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Mr. President. I just, as I recall during the work session, did not, and I don't know, I can't remember. I know it wasn't the ordinance change in District 8, but I do recall getting a citizen's call in on an ordinance change in one of the other districts, and I didn't know if that commissioner had received any other concerns or complaints regarding the zoning request. I don't know if it was this one, or I don't know if it was the District 10 or District 11. I can't remember which one it was, or maybe I misunderstood. Does anybody else remember that? I guess is what I'm asking.
I do not.
Okay. All righty.
You know, I believe I do know what Commissioner Taliaferro is referring to. Yes, it's in District 10, but it's not this one.
Okay.
They're wanting to change or add some affordable housing over on the corner of Baird Road and Burcoon's behind the library, and I think that's what they were calling about.
Okay. Yeah, I just I could not remember the location. I just want to make sure that I was squared away before we pressed on. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Mr. Everson, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Hopkins.
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson.
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson. I didn't hear you, Commissioner Jackson. Let's see. Commissioner Young.
Yes.
Commissioner Burrell.
Yes.
Yes, but Jack.
Thank you. Commissioner Cawthorn. Commissioner Cawthorn.
You're muted, Lynn.
Yeah, sorry, I'm gonna ask him to unmute. Commissioner Gage Watts,
Yes.
Commissioner Taliaferro,
Yes.
Commissioner Atkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Chavez,
Yes.
Commissioner Lazarus,
Yes.
and Commissioner Epperson.
Yes.
All right, that's 11 in support and one we did not hear. I'm gonna call that as out of the chamber right now. But if
That for me, Jim?
no, I heard yours, Commissioner Jackson. This was Commissioner Cawthorn. I did not hear.
Okay.
But either way, motion passes, and we can move on to. Let's see.
Ordinance for final passage.
We are at ordinances for final passage, number 6010 of 2020. It's an ordinance adopting the budget of estimated revenues and expenditures for the Shreve Memorial Library for the year 2021.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Second.
Motion from Commissioner Jackson, second by Commissioner Atkins. Commissioner Jackson, would you like to speak on that motion?
Yeah, I think they presented a good budget. I will ask Mr. Tuggle, are we still good to make sure that we have the library? Is he still on?
I am.
Yes, he's still on.
Are we still good to have commitment and participation and support of Street Memorial Library with regards to as it relates to the proposed law center? I know down the road, I think the first year and a half, 2 years, there's no capital improvements or anything like that, but are we still good for that? And I'm not sure how this may relate to your 2021 budget or anything, but I know those conversations come up, and I know Dr. Wilson has always said that we need to make sure that we're planning for it.
I can give you a quick timeline rundown. At this time, we are still meeting with both the Southern University Law Center and Southern University Shreveport for the downtown location branch. Within the next 2 years, we will be sharing the building. The Law Center and the university will be on the 3rd and 4th floors, while the library continues to occupy the 1st and 2nd floor. And then the plan is a total transition to Southern University Law Center and Southern University Shreveport taking over the building by 2024. By 2024, I'll need Dr. Wilson's help to look for some property downtown to replace our downtown branch, because we cannot leave this area without library service. But we have a few years, but it's moving smoothly. And the Southern University Law Center is, they are very thorough. In fact, we're having another meeting with them next week while they walk around and check for all kinds of interesting things. I've been places in this building I never thought existed, but all thanks to Southern University.
Commissioner Jackson, you still have the floor. You wanted to conclude?
I'm sorry, I was on mute. I apologize. I was just going to say, Mr. Tuggle, I appreciate your commitment. I know it takes resources, and I know the city's committed, the parish has committed. You all are committed to seeing this through. I know, we're gonna gradually grow into it, and I appreciate the support that you all have provided, and we definitely, Dr. Wilson, will. Part of the conversation has been how can we create sort of a STEM library down at Southport. So if we start looking for space, I think we can find plenty of space in downtown to help support you. So I'm excited about it. I hope the community continues to be excited about it. And I hope that we as a community will get behind this just as vibrant and lively as we are behind the concept of Southern and Grambling coming to play a game here in Shreveport. Caddo Parish next year. So thank you for that continued commitment. That's it for me, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Vice President Johnson.
Yes, I'd like to englobo and adopt ordinance 6010 and 6014.
Second.
All right. Got a substitute motion by Commissioner Johnson, second by Commissioner Atkins. Did you want to speak on that, Commissioner Johnson?
No, sir.
All right. I see no commissioners on the board. Mr. Everson, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Hopkins.
I actually had a question.
Oh,
Yes, sir. I see your hand now, Commissioner Hopkins.
Commissioner Epperson, on the water grant, Greenwood, once they get their application and their funding, then we'll do our project along with them. Is that correct?
Whatever is necessary and whatever will be economically feasible.
Okay. I don't know. They may have already received their grant approval, or they're waiting on it. When I just didn't know how we were going to go about doing the project, and then from there we'll go and do our I guess our cooperative endeavor with the town. Correct?
That's correct.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Jackson?
That may have been an accident. I don't know.
Gotcha. All right. I'm sorry, Mr. Everson. Let's start from the top and we'll redo that roll call vote.
sure thing. So this is again on the Englobo of 6010 and Englobo and adopting 6010 and 6014. And I'll start with Commissioner Hopkins.
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson.
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson.
Yes.
Commissioner Young.
Yes.
Commissioner Burrell.
Yes.
Commissioner Cawthorn. Commissioner.
Yes.
Gilmore. Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Taliaferro.
Yes.
Commissioner Atkins.
Yes.
Commissioner Chavez.
Yes.
Commissioner Lazarus.
Yes.
And Commissioner Epperson.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries with 12 in support and none in opposition. And that brings us to the zoning ordinances for introduction by title, which we have none today. Then we come to ordinances for introduction by title, and we do have a few. I'll read those in. 16.1 starts introduce ordinance number 6015 of 2020, an ordinance amending the budget of estimated revenues and expenditures for the Riverboat Fund and the Oil and Gas Fund to provide an additional appropriation for the community policing project and to otherwise provide with respect thereto. Then we come to introducing ordinance number 6017 of 2020, an ordinance amending and reenacting section 32-46 of the Caddo Parish Code of Ordinance regarding the courthouse grounds and otherwise providing with respect thereto. And the final item under this section today is introducing ordinance number 6018 of 2020, an ordinance amending the budget of estimated revenues and expenditures for the capital outlay and the oil and gas fund in the amount of $61,000 to provide an appropriation for the construction and improvement of Lakeview Waterworks water system that serves the Lakeview area within Caddo Parish and to otherwise provide with respect thereto. And that brings us to work session minutes. Of course, work session minutes resolutions, due to the current teleconference setup, we don't have any on the agenda today. But that brings us to old business, of which we also don't have any. And our next item is new business, where we do have a couple of items, including, let's not forget, we do have that item that the agenda was expanded to include. But the first item under new business is appointment on the Shreveport-Bossier Sports Commission to appoint one member, authorizing the
Move to
appointment.
authorize the appointment of Chantel Hardison to the Shreveport Sports Commission.
Second.
Got a motion by Commissioner Johnson, second by Commissioner Watts. Commissioner Johnson, would you like to speak on that?
No, the resume is attached. Everyone sees what she has done. She is a sports-minded individual and a motivational speaker, and I think she'll be a good asset to the Sports Commission.
I don't see anybody else on the board, but I definitely will agree with Commissioner Johnson. That was quite an impressive resume. So, Mr. Everson, go ahead and roll call vote.
All right, Commissioner Hopkins.
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson.
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson.
Yes.
Commissioner Young.
Yes.
Commissioner Burrell.
Yes.
Commissioner Cawthorn.
Yes.
Commissioner Gage Watts.
Yes.
Commissioner Taliaferro.
Yes.
Commissioner Atkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Chavez,
Yes.
Commissioner Lazarus,
Yes.
and Commissioner Epperson.
Yes.
That motion passes with 12 in support and none in opposition. And that brings us to the next, which is a reappointment to Fire District number 7. And that is authorizing the reappointment of Commission appointee James Alexander to Fire District number 7.
Move to
Move
approve.
to adopt. Second.
All right. Thanks, guys. Motion by Commissioner Hopkins to adopt, second by Commissioner Lazarus. Commissioner Hopkins, would you like to speak on that?
No, that's okay.
All right. I see no commissioners on the board. Mr. Everson, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Hopkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson,
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson,
Yes.
Commissioner Young,
Yes.
Commissioner Burrell,
Yes.
Commissioner Cawthorn,
Yes.
Commissioner Gage Watts,
Yes.
Commissioner Taylor Farrow,
Yes.
Commissioner Atkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Chavez,
Yes.
Commissioner Lazarus,
Yes.
and Commissioner Epperson.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries with 12 in support and none in opposition. And that brings us to the item that our agenda was expanded to include, which is an action item regarding lawsuit number 699-662 and the 19th JDC.
Epperson moves to dismiss.
Second.
Second.
All right. Commissioner Epperson, thank you. Would you like to speak on that motion?
I think the parish attorney made it quite clear Monday, as well as I spoke with her on the phone for some more specifics. That's all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner Epperson. Show no other commissioners on the board. Mr. Everson, roll call vote, please.
Just for a moment, for clarity, who was the second on that?
Sounded like
I'll do second.
I thought I heard 2 or 3 voices.
it was multiple. I thought I heard Cawthorn the loudest, but
I don't think Cawthorn.
Was it? I had Burrell. Is that accurate?
I didn't say anything.
okay.
It was me.
It was
I
Commissioner
don't
Burrell.
I didn't know if Mr. Cawthorn was there, so yeah.
Yes, no problem. Thank y'all for confirming that. Okay, Commissioner Hopkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson. Commissioner
Yes.
Johnson? Okay, thank you. I heard it. Commissioner Jackson,
Yes.
Commissioner Young,
Yes.
Commissioner Burrell,
Yes.
Commissioner Cawthorn,
Yes.
Commissioner Gage Watts,
Yes.
Commissioner Taylor Farrow, Commissioner Taylor Farrow, it looks like the screen is frozen. Commissioner Atkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Chavez,
Yes.
Commissioner Lazarus,
Yes.
and Commissioner Epperson.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries with 11 in support and 1 absent. And that brings us to communiques and committee reports. And at this time, I would remind y'all, it was mentioned in the meeting on in your work session, tomorrow is the master plan committee, the joint master plan committee tomorrow at noon.
Thank you, Mr. Everson. Commissioner Epperson.
Yes, I just wanted to emphasize again, since we aren't going to be having a lot of in-person events relative to our veterans, that everyone that's listening or viewing this Zoom meeting, as well as the commissioners and staff and the general public, please write a card or a letter to the Northwest Louisiana Veterans Homes, to the veterans. They love getting that mail, and let them know how we appreciated what they did during the times which they served this nation. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Epperson. Commissioner Jackson.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I think I heard a lot of folks say it earlier, but I want to repeat that thanks to all of the individuals who participated in the civic process that took place and was carried out on Tuesday, either from election day and going back to early voting. We know we have some improvements to do, in some areas. And I think we're all committed to doing that. I think we ought not take our eyes off the prize. I know we had several conversations about expanding north, east, south, and west conversation. So now is the time to engage our legislators. I can tell you I've talked to at least 3 who said, man, y'all got to do something about that. And I told them, well, yeah, but y'all are the ones that eventually have to sign off and give us the ability to do something about it. So I think we've got their attention now. And I think we should continue to engage them, particularly pull in our registrar and continue to engage them on the concept of a north, south, east, and west, if that's what we want to do. But just want to thank all the poll workers, the volunteers, everyone who played a role in doing that. I think we see that this is the most involved election in the history of the United States. And that's because when you make access more available to individuals, people participate more. And I don't think it's ever been a period where people didn't want to participate, but there are always social determinants in the way that always got in the way. And so I think if anything that may have come good out of COVID-19 was that it has shown us different ways to approach some of the things that we kind of are in the normal cycle of doing. And so again, we're proud of the turnout that has taken place. I know votes are still being counted, even in Louisiana. And so let's continue to engage in that conversation. Dr. Wilson, are you still on?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay, I got the email that you sent over for Travis. And so if we need to do anything to escalate that with regard to environmental court, please let me know and be more than happy to escalate that. So please let Travis know to stay on top of that, because I'll be checking in on it every meeting and opportunity that we can, so that we can make that to fruition. In fact, if we need to go ahead and prepare an ordinance or get it into the talk to Commissioner Talaferro and put it in Animal Service Committee. I'm not sure if Henry or Donna is on, or Attorney Frazier is on, but whoever we need to start, whatever we need to start doing on our end, because I think that's what I read on the email. If we need to start doing something on our end to participate in that environmental court as it relates to animal services, let's go ahead and move forward on our end, and let's not us be the reason why it's not moving forward.
Yes, sir. Attorney Frazier is aware of that, sir.
Okay. All right. Well,
yeah, and we're waiting on the councilman to let us know that she's spoken to the city council about it also.
Right. But on our end, we can move. We can at least put it in committee and start having those initial discussions, pull Commissioner Talaferro in, make sure he's aware of what's going on in that committee, and let's have it ready to rock and roll.
Okay.
Commissioner Jackson.
As always. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
This is Attorney Frazier. I wanted to let you know that there's actually not going to be any action necessary by the commission, because it will only be enforceable within the city limits of Shreveport. So it's actually going to be the city council.
Cheryl Patrick, how you doing?
Okay.
All right, just have a quick question. I want to make sure we're correct on that.
That will have to change their ordinances to reflect that those will go to the environmental court instead of city court downtown.
I'm sorry, Attorney Frazier, you blanked out for a good little minute. Somebody else or something was coming in on you.
Okay.
That last part.
Basically, the city will have to change their ordinances to put the jurisdiction for those matters in the city to the environmental court instead of city court. But it is not something that requires commission actions, because the commission ordinance is only enforceable in the unincorporated areas, and those will still go to district court.
Okay. All right. Well, are we? Well, I'll get with you offline to even talk about that, because that may be something that could go to that environmental court, because I'm sure district court judges are not trying to, when they're dealing with rape cases and murder cases and all those things. But if it's working, if Travis and them think it's working in district court, let's keep it going, but more than happy to talk about how we can put it. It just seems like a proper fit for everything. So I appreciate y'all working on it, and let's keep the wheels rolling.
There was a couple of, I think, in there.
That's it for me, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Jackson. Commissioner Atkins.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to make sure that the Economic Development Committee knew that Commissioner Clark and I were trying to schedule a meeting to discuss the possible vacation from business fees, business registration fees for 2021, and just wanted to ask my colleagues on the Economic Development Committee to please look at your emails and correspond with Mr. Everson regarding your availability for those meetings. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner Atkins. Vice President Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to let everyone know that today from 5 to about 9, Nimzo, Longstrat, RNL Catering is going to have a grand opening on Texas Avenue. I think it's around the 1500 block. It's right across the street from 11 Event Center. She does the African cuisine. She was also one of the Golden Fork specialists in 2019. She has an array of good food that you would like to taste and sample. So she invited all the commissioners to come down. So it's from 5 to 9. Thanks.
Thanks, Commissioner Johnson. I was actually going to get in my
What day was
fridge.
that?
It's tonight. It's from 5 to 9. This is actually some of her salsa that's in my fridge at the office, and it's incredible, and it's ridiculously spicy, and it's amazing. So I'll be there tonight to see you.
Tonight from 5 to 9.
From 5 to 9. I got Commissioner Burrell next on the floor.
Thank you. Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to, I was going back, as I had said before, did not make the work session, and I noticed on there it did have I-49 sign status update. Before I left town, I was involved in an I-49 inner city corridor update, and I don't think that we've had an update on that particular project for some time. Could we request that update, Dr. Wilson?
Yes, sir. We can get you one. I think
I
yes,
just
sir.
wanted to bring the other commissioners up to.
Yes, sir. Well, we'll update everybody.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Jackson.
Doc, can we just have Kent come sometime and join us? It's been a while. If you don't mind inviting. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, that's what I was basically asking for, an update on it from Ken.
Yeah, I think he gives us an update on a couple of them and throw that one in. So appreciate you if you can do that, Doc.
Yes, sir. I'll invite him to the next meeting.
Thank you.
All right. I see no other commissioners on the board.
All right. You want me to move on to citizens' comments?
Yes, please. Do we have any?
We don't have any callers, but we do have an item that was emailed to us, and the email came in a little earlier, but he did ask that we share it. So sure. I'll read it. And just for further clarification, I will say there have been a couple of commissioners and staff who've responded to these citizens' concerns as well. So it reads, I trust that you are having a God bless good day. I'm writing with reference to some dead and brown trees along parish roads near Colquitt and Woolworth Road in Caddo Parish. Caddo Parish is a beautiful area to live in and build a home you can be proud of. The dead and dying trees are a financial killer, and chemicals that are being sprayed could possibly be seeping into our water supply. Please stop this action immediately and start bush hogging and trimming some trees instead. No one is going to move and build a new home where trees are brown and ugly. I remember when this spraying years ago, and it needs to stop. We are losing money and not saving money, which is of no benefit to us. Fraternally yours, Bishop Fred A. Caldwell Sr. And in response to that, I will let y'all know if you haven't received this particular response yet, the area that he's talking about and the practice that he's referring to evidently is the Louisiana DOTD. That is not the Caddo Parish Public Works that's doing that. The Caddo Parish Public Works does have property near, and they are mowing, and they do spray some roadside grass, but they're not doing it for the tree lines. So it appears that that's the Louisiana DOTD, and we will reach out to them.
Got it. Okay. That concludes citizens' comments. Mr. Everson?
That is all we have. We don't have any other callers.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Got a motion
Second.
that passes by acclamation. Have a good night, guys.
Thank you.
Take care.